how to cure mental disturbance, how to deal with the whispers of Satan. Allah Almighty teaches in the Quran not only the cause but the cure, by pondering upon two verses in the Quran, the first of which is what you see on the screen. In verse 200 of chapter 7 of the Quran states, "And if an evil whisper comes to you from Satan, then seek refuge with Allah, God. Verily, He is all hearer, all knower." So, when an idea pops up in your head containing ideas of harm and lust and blasphemy and causing you mental disturbances, the first thing to do is to seek refuge with Allah, which means that you should remember this guidance, remember what Allah teaches you in the Quran, remember that the source of these thoughts is not yourself, but your companion devil, and they are designed to cause you pain and despair, and they're all untrue, they're not true, and Allah God Almighty will not judge you for them, but will judge you whether you believe them and carry them out, and you carry them out or not. The second thing to do, as stated in verse 168 of chapter 2 of the Quran, "O mankind, eat of that which is lawful and good on the earth, and follow not the footsteps of Satan. Verily, he is to you an open enemy." So, the second thing to do, after seeking refuge to Allah, not to follow the footsteps of Satan, which means do not carry out the thoughts that came into your mind from Satan. For example, if he tells you to go and repeat an action, don't repeat it. So by doing this, he gives up on you eventually, that he no longer affects your sayings or doings. Now, coming to the last part of this episode, giving examples on how to implement this knowledge in real life examples. The first example is a person hearing ideas in his head when he washes himself and he wants to leave the place he did the washing, that he's unclean, that he's dirty, and something tells him to go back and repeat the actions many times over. Now, how to diagnose and cure this from the guides in the Quran. Now, when this person, this idea, when he leaves the washing place, and this idea pops up in his head, he should seek refuge with Allah, which means that to remember that the source of this idea is not himself, but his companion devil, Satan, his enemy, and he wants to cause him both physical and mental pain, and that all of these ideas are untrue. All of these ideas are not true. And the second thing to do, not to follow the footsteps of Satan, which means not to go back and to repeat the washing many times over. So this is the cure for this, and to go to his work, to continue with his life, and not to repeat this action many times over. After a while, Satan gives up on him. So this is how to diagnose and cure it. And the cure is not in sedative pills, is not in sitting on a couch and telling a person about your problems. It's not at all. Now, the other example, a person hearing ideas causing him depression, telling him, for example, what's the purpose of this life, what's the purpose of your job, and so forth. Now, how to diagnose and cure this according to the Noble Quran? The first thing that this person should realize is that the source of this idea is not himself but his companion devil, and they are designed to cause him pain and despair, and that he should seek refuge with Allah. Remember the guidance you are hearing now. Remember the guidance of Allah God Almighty in the Noble Quran. And the second thing to do, not to believe them, not to believe that there is no purpose in his life, not to believe these ideas, and he will be cured from this. The third example, Allah God willing, the third example, on a person hearing ideas in his head containing blasphemy, saying about Allah that he has a son, that he has partners, all of these are blasphemous kind of sayings. To realize when he is hearing these ideas, what happens to a person that when he hears this kind of blasphemy, he goes in mental pain, saying how Allah God will forgive him, and all of his life he will be preoccupied with these ideas. Now, the first thing to realize that the source of these ideas is not himself but his companion devil, that they're all untrue, they're not true, and they are designed to cause him pain and despair. And the second thing to do, not to believe them nor carry them out, and just to ignore them and to continue with his life. And that's the way to cure this. So we see, brothers and sisters, how Allah God Almighty, out of mercy, He gives us the Noble Quran, which contains so much blessing, so much mercy, so much knowledge, the knowledge in all the branches of knowledge, and it's easy to be understood and implemented in life. And we see that this topic of diagnosis and cure of mental disturbances, psychology failed to give an answer for this for hundreds of years. while Allah God Almighty gives us the answer in minutes and in a number of verses of the Quran. And to know more details about this topic, please visit my website at www.quran-miracle.com, and you can email me at zquran@yahoo.com, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all.